Namaskar, brothers and sisters, ladies and gentlemen, students and scholars, teachers and trainers. Officers, officials, listener learners. I welcome all respected doctors and directors. I welcome all honorable ministers and managers. I welcome all honorable advocates, advertisers, administrators and advisors. I welcome the most honorable present Prime Minister Modi ji. Dr. Rakesh from USA, heartily cordially welcome. It is really nice time, nice place, nice action today that we are appreciating, admiring presence of word. How word helps us in knowing the ununderstandable facts of life. How it helps us in knowing the mysterious facts of life. Word is omniscient, omnipotent, omnipresent, almighty. What is our past, present, and future? It is said in all our holy scriptures of this holy land, all the starters, beginners, creators, generators, operators, founders, those who came in this world, they address this unique message for the welfare of our society and nation. Let us go through what changes we see economically, politically, publicly, professionally, even constitutionally. Our holy Indian constitution gave us the guarantee of good human being if we adopt the path of humanity. Let us go through the changes. The Netherlands and Australia hope to rewrite. The Netherlands and Australia hope to rewrite history. From Chennai at the FIH World Junior Men's Cup Tournament, Australia and the Netherlands have always been widely followed with keen interest. However, when compared to their senior teams, exploits the achievements of the junior team pales in comparison. However, when compared to their senior teams, exploits the achievements of the junior teams pales in comparison. The Australian and the Dutch senior men teams have won the World Cup 3 times each, while the Buresh, as the Australian junior men's team is referred to, has won the World Cup only once, 1997. The Netherlands has not yet won it. It nevertheless has two silver, 1985 and 2009, and two bronze medals, 1979 and 2013 to show. This time, Australia has had a near perfect preparations going into the 2025 FIS Junior Men's World Cup to be held in Chennai and Madurai from November 28 to December 10. It qualified for the World Cup by winning the the Oceania Junior Cup, followed by winning the Sultan of Johor Cup last month, defeating two-time world champions India twice in the group stage and the final. We are ready to put a good performance together, said Jay Stacey, Australia's head coach, to the persons here on Friday. The World Cup has always been difficult, according to the Dutch head coach Jesse Mayhew. The Netherlands Mihu said the reason the junior Dutch teams are not able to perform well has been due to its lack of full-fledged programs. I think what you see is that a lot of other countries have full-time programs in under 21 age category. Our preparation in winter is short. That makes a difference, said Mihu. Reds will never use Jota grief as excuse. Slot says from Liverpool, Arne Slot said on Friday that Liverpool would never use their grief over the death of Diogo Jota as an excuse for bad results as he seeks to arrest a shocking run of five defeats in six Premier League games. Slot said it was impossible to properly assess the impact of Jota's death on performances or results. The real season starts now, says Guardiola. Arnischel braces for Spurs clash without Gabriel. Man City in pursuit. From London, Arsenal is expected to be without defensive linchpin Gabriel Magalhaes. And it hosts London rival Tottenham Hotspur on Sunday as Manchester City seeks to keep up the pressure on the Premier League leader. Strong-willed Jasmine won gold despite carrying an injury. News from New Delhi. World champion Jasmine Lamboria, strong willpower came to the fore in the World Boxing Cup finals as the Southpaw won the 57-kilogram title despite carrying a left shoulder injury. It is reliably learned that Jasmine had picked up a muscle stress in her left shoulder during the World Champions in Liverpool in September last. No time for rehab since the WBCF was scheduled close to the Worlds. Jasmine did not have time to go through rehab and recovery. Considering that the WBCF was a shorter yet prestigious tournament being held on home soil, she opted to take part in it. Jasmine, an army boxer, began her campaign by posting a 5-0 win over Kazakhstan Asian Youth World medalist Guljan Sarsenbek in the semifinals on Wednesday. BFI chief Ajay promises all help for boxers to win Olympic medals from New Delhi. Talking hurt from the Indian boxers' extraordinary performance at the recently concluded World Boxing Cup finals, the Boxing Federation of India is looking to build on the success to achieve great glory. BFI President Ajay Singh said, no stone would have been left. No stone would be left unturned to help Indian boxers win medals in the 2026 Commonwealth and Asian Games and the 2028 Los Angeles Olympics. We need to go to the next level. We have to ensure that our athletes win Olympic medals, said Ajay at a function organized to honor India's medalists 9 gold, 6 silver, and 5 bronze here on Friday. Ajay said hiring the best coaching personnel, grooming multiple boxers in each weight category, and launching a talent hunt to increase the bench strength in certain weights would be among the priorities. World champions Meenakshi Huda 48 kg and Jasmine Lamboria 57 kg credited team work for the success. Two-time world champions Nikhat Jareen 51 kg gave an assurance that she would continue her good work. Confidence booster for promising boxers Preeti Pawar 54 kg. England on top after a 19 wicket day. Skipper Stokes leads the fight back with a 5 wicket haul. Starr claimed 7 to bowl out the tourist for 172 on a spicy Perth track. From Perth, 19 wickets fell on an opening day of carnage in the first Ashes Test on Friday, with England's fearsome attack led by skipper Ben Stokes bowling it into a position of strength after Australia dismissed the tourist for 172. A rampaging Michelle Stark took 7 for 58 to put England on the back foot after Stokes won the toss on a fine day at a Bath Stadium, packed Bath Stadium and chose to bat. Palmer to miss three more Chelsea games after toy break. The great season starts. The great season starts now, says Gurudyala. India's A. India A enters quarterfinals of World Cup of Snooker. Surya Shani shoots silver in 50-meter rifle CBA at Deaflympics. West Indies recalls veteran pacer Ross for New Zealand Test. Bangladesh outstuns India. A enters final from Doha. India A paid a heavy price for its insipidness with bat and ball. Coming to Bangladesh in Super Over in the semi-finals of the Rising Stars Asia Cup here on Friday. India bowlers, India A bowlers faltered as Bangladesh piled up handy 194 for 6 in 20 hours. We holds form against Espineko from Aprola, Goa. Team will look to be ruthless from Guwahati. News from Babuma. South Africa skipper Temba Babuma promised his team will be ruthless in the second test here and not played safe, even though a draw will be enough for his side to clinch the series 1 to 0. Ultimately, in every game, you have to play to win. It's not about protecting the lead that we have. We want to play from the front and continue to do so, said Bahuma, who is yet to close a test as skipper. At the top level, you are going to be put under pressure, Pant says from Guwahati. Rishabh Pant has a special affinity with Guwahati. It is here that he made his one-day international debut back in 2018 and on Saturday will stride out to lead India for the first time in Test after regular skipper Shubman Gill was ruled out with a neck injury. Given his team is challenged in the two-match series, this will be a real test of his leadership skills. Already, Went has had a taste of the demands of captaincy after questions were raised about his decision making. On the third morning of the Kolkata Test, India opted to use spinners rather than pace spearhead Jasprit Bumrah and let the South African low order score vital runs which proved costly. There was a lot of discussion that happened as a team and going with a spinner was that process. That's the challenge as a captain. You are going to be questioned, said Pant, but eventually you are going to do what you believe in, what you believe is right in that given frame of mind, and trust that that person who has the ball will do the job for the team. Advantage. South Africa as Pant's men play catch up. Sai Sudarshan likely to replace the injured Gill for the second test. The host could be tempted to bring in Nitish in place of a spinner. Proteus set to miss the services of Rabada again from Guwahati. Pant set to become second stumper to lead India in test. I think this wicket will play better than Kolkata. Feels Pant. Hopefully, we go back to playing for test against India. Babuma says optimistically. Guwahati test to feature New session intervals. Gridiron Mania. This change from this month's game between Cleveland Tigers and Florida State Seminoles at Memorial Stadium in South Carolina offers a sense of the craze that surrounds college gridiron in the USA. In some parts of America, particularly the South and Midwest, the college game is more popular than professional football and was once viewed as more prestigious. The game attracts large crowds. Several stadiums say more than 100,000. The matchday experience includes proud traditions, razzmatazz and rivalry. The 2024 NCAA season reportedly drew more than 21 million fans, averaging 64,000 per game. Given such a following, it's no surprise that the business of college football is considerable. It is estimated to bring in well in excess of $1 billion a year. College football occupies a special space in American sport. In the absence of official minor league farm organizations, gridiron played by student athletes is considered American football's second tier second tier in step below the NFL. Indeed, the large majority of NFL professionals graduate from college football. The Lichage story, the cool open source site helping power the chess boom. What started as a personal coding project for French programmer Thibault Duplessis has grown into a free destination for millions of chess lovers, ranging from amateurs to world champions run by just three full-time workers and an army of volunteers. Lichage is both one of the world's leading gaming websites and an inspirational community enterprise. We are not for sale. It is imperative that Lichage keeps going. I know many people cannot afford subscription fee and nobody wants to see a monopoly. Theo White was studying at University College London in 2021 in 2011 when he rediscovered chess. He had been taught the game by his grandfather, but he never really continued with it. Wade's best friend at college, a Frenchman, sent him a link to play chess on a new French website he had come across. It was called Lichess. Walt first played with his friend and then others on the site. He found Lichess cool some 14 years and a pandemic later. Lichess has become a lot cooler or hotter if you look at the numbers or the influence it has on the game of chess. Everything you need. Lichess is free, open source, has no ads, and requires no registration. It lets millions from across the world, ranging from amateurs to world champions, play chess online, learn its intricacies, and watch live all the major tournaments, including the World Champions and the World Cup. Lichess does all that with just three full-time workers. Wade is one of them. Founder Thibault Duplessis and mobile developer Vincent Ballester are the others. An army of volunteers from around the globe keeps the website running and growing, ensuring the game of chess is accessible to everyone without ever having to pay a subscription fee. It operates with donation averaging €5 per contributor. I began volunteering my time by trying to translate the website into Russian, as I was a student of the language then, which tells the Hindu at Goa during the World Cup, which he is covering for the chase around 2013. Tibalt reached out to me. Tibalt reached out to me and he said, "You know, would you like to be part of the team? We are not for sale. It is imperative that Lichess keeps going. I know many people cannot afford subscription fee and nobody wants to see a monopoly. We could not have imagined at the time that he was going to be a part of something truly unique in the internet and social spaces. Lichess is not just one of the world's leading gaming websites. It is one of the most popular open source projects as well. Lichess is now one of the 200 to 300 biggest websites in the world by traffic, says Wade, who works as the director of operations. We have hundreds of millions of visits every month. We provide a completely free platform for anyone to play or learn chess. we have we have all of the learning materials that you need to learn how to play chess given entirely for free. We have courses, we have studies. Anyone interested in chess can begin experimenting with it. How did it all begin? Lichess was born when Thibault, a very talented programmer, wanted to learn a new developing language called Scala. Says Wade. So to practice with this, he began creating a chess website because it has lots of features which are very useful for programming. There were teething troubles. Yes, Thibault wasn't formal chess player, and in the early liches we didn't get all the chess rules correctly. Recall, wait, for example, an Asian did not exist or you could cast through check, but those issues were fixed very early. He created a chat feature using which people pointed out flaws. Now people are talking about the important role liches play in the growth of chess. Vidit Gujarati, who was part of the Olympiad winning Indian team, says he has great regard for the service liches offers the game. Now its mobile application is much smoother and it is through leashes that I follow tournaments. He tells the person over the phone, I have a lot of respect for Tibalt, who is running it with his passion. The other day, with it, the current world number 27 had posted on X an amazing open source bug. Anish Giri, the word number 5 from the Netherlands, replied, absolutely. Endorsement matter. Such endorsement matter to Lich's weight. They motivate the team. They have been many top players who have found Lichess useful in many ways, including their preparations. Javokhir Sindoro Javokar Sundaro, who has done well at the World Cup here, said he was using the latest features for his preparation, including opening. The world's best players play on dishes, though some of them may not be revealing their identities. Billions of games are played on Lichess every day. I think it is about 3.5 million games a day. The rated ones, that is, but if you take unrated games played against bots, engines, or the anonymous games you are looking at maybe around 6-7 million says when of course the pandemic saw a huge spurt in the traffic just before COVID-19. We were averaging maybe around 50,000 people online at any given time, but that number tripled in 2020. Chess was, in fact, the only game that grew during the pandemic. The word chess covering body did well to take chess to more people by using several online tournaments, including an online chess Olympiad, in which India was declared the joint winner with Russia, which had won the final but had to share the title after India successfully appealed against an internet outrage. Chess is a game most ideal for the internet. All you need is a mobile phone and decent connectivity to play an interesting game. And of course, Lichess isn't the only website out there for chess. There are the likes of chess.com and Chesswish. Lichess wants to ensure that chess remains free and is not corporatized. We are not for sale, says Wade. We have had lots of interest from many other people and some companies, including a big one back in 2016 to 17. It is imperative that Lichess keeps going. I know many people cannot afford subscription fee and nobody wants to see a monopoly. It is expensive to keep Lichess going. It costs us around 720,000 US dollars a year to run Lichess usage. That includes salaries and servers and servers, moderators, content, and the prize fund tournaments that we put out. And those tournaments are important too. At the end of the day, it is very nice for titled players to have an opportunity to just save some money, playing chess as well. Financial support, where shares most of the financial contributions come from North America and Europe. That is not surprising, as there is a big disparity in wealth globally. Right, he points out. If a company was interested in supporting us, we would definitely to become, we would definitely to open a conversation, and of course one cannot contribute by volunteering too. Lichesh would like to do more in India, which is second only to Russia in terms of the numbers of followers. I would really like to do more just within grassroots chess in India, says Wade, and we would like to work we would like to work on going chess into schools and education. 35th Martyrdom Day dedicated to Shri Guru Tegh Bahadur Ji, भाई मत भाई मती दास जी, भाई सती दास जी, भाई दयाला जी. Details of Nagar Kirtan and Samagam Shri Nagar to Shri Anandpur Sahib, 19 to 22 November 2025. Srinagar, Pathankot, Hoshiarpur, Guru Shankar, Jammu, Dashayu, Dashuya, Mahilpur, Shri Anandpur Sahib. Day 1, Jammu, 19 November 25. Day 2, Pathankot, 20 November 25. Day 3, Hoshiarpur, 21 November 25. Gurdaspur to Shri Anandpur Sahib, 22 November. Gurdaspur, Baba Bakala Sahib, Tantaran, Kapurthala, Jalandhar, Banga, Balashore. बटाला श्री अमृतसर साहिब, गोइंदवाल साहिब करतारपुर फगवाड़ा, नवा शहर श्री आनंदपुर साहिब, हॉल्ट डे वन श्री अमृतपुर साहिब अमृतसर साहिब 20 November 25, डे टू जलंधर 21 November 25, फरीदकोट टू श्री आनंदपुर साहिब 22 November 25, फरीदकोट to Moga, Moga to Ludhiana, Ludhiana to Sirhind, Sirhind to Morinda, Morinda to Roopnagar. Then Firozpur, Firozpur to Jagrao, Jagrao to Khanna, Khanna to Fatehgarh Sahib, and Fatehgarh Sahib to Chamkaur Sahib. Then Shri Anandpur Sahib. Halt Day 1 Ludhiana 20 November 2025. Day 2 Fatehgarh Sahib 21 November 25. Gurdaspur Day Sahib Chhavni Buddha Talwandi Sabho to Shri Anandpur Sahib 22 November. Gurudwara Bay Sahib Chhavni Buddha Talwandi Sabho, then Barnala, then Patiala, then Banor, then Kurali, then Shri Anandpur Sahib. Next then Bathinda, Sangrur, Rajpura, Sahibzada Ajit Singh Nagar, Roopnagar. Halt Day 1 Sangrur November 20 November 25. Day 2 Sahibzada Ajit Singh Nagar 20 November 21 November 25. Samagam at Shri Anandpur Sahib 23rd November 25. Commencement of Shri Akhand Path Sahib, inauguration of exhibition based on the life of Shri Guru Tegh Bahadur Ji, Sarvadharam Sammelan, guided tour of Virasat-e Khalsa, Bhai Jai Mata, Bhai Jeta Ji Memorial and Panch Pyara Park, drone show, Katha and Kirtan Darbar. 24th November 25. Sister Bhet Nagar Kirpan. Sister Bhet Nagar Kirtan, Kiratpur Sahib to Shri Anandpur Sahib. Heritage work at Shri Anandpur Sahib. Special assembly session dedicated to Shri Guru Tegh Bahadur Ji. Dhani and Kavishar Darbar plays or readings or poetry based on the life and teachings of Guru Sahib. Gutka and other performances, drone show, Katha and Kirtan Darbar. 25th November 25, Bhog Shri Akhand Path Sahib, state level blood donation drive, statewide gem campaign to plant 350 lakh saplings, Gurbani Kirtan, Sarbat Da Bhala gathering, drone show. The ninth Guru Shri Guru Tegh Bahadur Ji, the protector of religious freedom and human rights, the embodiment of compassion and sacrifice, an eternal symbol of courage, continues to shine as a beacon of light for all humanity. Let us, along with our families, bow in reverence on this sacred land and be part of these divine events. A special publication from the Hindu group. The Hindu marks the centenary of the announcement of the discovery of the Indus civilization with a new edition of the book, The Wonder That Was the Harpan Civilization. The book has a bonanza of photographs and 48 extra pages featuring interviews with Director General, Archaeological Survey of India, Y.S. Rawat, scholars R.S. Pishat and Ashko Paropola. There are new stories on the evocation at Kartarpura and Patka Bat with both Harpan sites in India a treasure to own. New enriched edition, red alert, Ferrari cracks widen after failing again to recapture old glory. The iconic Italian mark has a history of internet bickering when things don't go well. On track this year has shown just how touchy the Maranello environment can get. Top boss John Elkanan rebuked his drivers despite the clear flaws of the 2025 car. The team must get its act together ahead of 2026's major regulatory overhaul if it wants to end a long-running title drought. Charles Leclerc has cut a frustrated figure in a car which hasn't allowed him to fight for the world title at a time when his contemporaries are striving. In February 2024, the Formula One world lived through one of the sport's most dramatic developments in recent history. Lewis Hamilton, FI's most decorated driver, announced a shock move to Scuderia Ferrari, the racing series' most storied and successful output. It was the biggest driver transfer of the 21st century, and the new alliance had all the potential for a blockbuster narrative arc in all time. Great seeking to clinch a record, its title, with the most passionately followed team on the grid before he bid adieu. Glimpses of speed, Hamilton form had dipped in since losing the 2021 championship in controversial circumstances, but he showed glimpses of speed in 2024, claiming two races after going winless in the preceding 2 years. Ferrari offered a fresh challenge, and nothing is bigger in F1 than winning a title for the Italian mark. Ferrari too was on an upward swing, coming within 14 points of winning the 2024 Constructors' title. The team started strongly in the first half of 2022 when ground effect cars were introduced before floundering in 2023 but appeared to get back on the right track. Most seemingly promising ideas, however, look good on paper until they encounter the trials and tribulations of the real world. And now, just a year into the alliance, the Hamilton Ferrari marriage is already showing signs of discord, and not everyone is happy in Maranello. 277 players in the fray for 73 slots from New Delhi. Lakshya Best Ayush Satwik Chiraz crashes out from Sydney. She is courageous, primed to repeat. Iran Foreign Ministry slams EA demand from Tehran in Iran's Foreign Ministry called a resolution by the UN Atomic Watchdogs Board of every governor anti-Iranian and certain unspecified retaliatory action, state media reported on Friday. The International Atomic Energy Agency on Thursday demanded that Iran fully cooperates with the agency and provide precise information about its stockpile of near weapons grade uranium, as well as grant its inspectors access to Iranian nuclear sites. Foreign Ministry spokesperson Esmol Bagheri was quoted as saying on Friday. Taiwan issues crisis guide on preparing for Chinese attack. Critics condemn move. The new printed version is the first time the government has opted for paper emergency guidelines. Taipei resident Jie Shi hopes he never needs the crisis guide Taiwan is handing out to millions of households across the island, which faces threats of natural disasters and a Chinese invasion. The government begins sliding the orange booklet under doors and into mail boxes this week too. raise awareness about potential dangers, but critics have branded it a waste of taxpayers' money. Israel kills 13 Hamas militants in Lebanon from Jerusalem. Israel's military on Friday said a strike on a Palestinian refugee camp in southern Lebanon earlier this week had killed 13 Hamas militants. Lebanon's authorities said Tuesday's strike on Ain al Halway camp killed at least 13 people without giving their identities. Ukraine's choice is between losing the US or its dignity. This is one of the most difficult. This is one of the most difficult moments in our history, says President Zelensky. The US space plan includes Ukrainian territorial concessions while offering limited security guarantees to Kyiv. President Volodymyr Zelensky said on Friday that Ukraine has to confront the possibility of losing its dignity or risking the loss of a key partner as it figured out how to respond to a US peace proposal to end Russia's war with his country. This is one of the most difficult moments in our history, Mr. Zelensky shared in a video addressed to the nation currently. The pressure on Ukraine is one of the hardest. Ukraine may now face a very difficult choice. To deter migration, UK government proposes new rules for settlement from London days after announcing a shake-up of UK Islam law. The country's Home Secretary Shabana Mahmood released proposed changing to the rules for settling in the UK, also known as settlement, indefinite leave to remain or ILR. Under the proposed challenges, under the proposed changes, high earners and entrepreneurs would qualify in 3 years, some in 5 years, while the default would be 10 years, with some individuals having to wait 20 or even 20, even 30 years to settle. Changes to the law along the proposed lines will impact tens of thousands of Indians who have been the largest group of non-EU long-term migrants to the UK since at least 2019. The Labour government of Keir Starmer had already announced that it would run a public consultation on a new contributions based system for ILR, at the heart of which is a doubling of the default qualifying period from 5 to 10 years. The biggest shake up. The consultation, which began on Thursday, is open until February 12th. The government called it the biggest shake-up of the legal migration system in nearly half a century. How earners who make more than 125, 120, 40 pounds and entrepreneurs on the global talent and innovator found visas would be eligible to settle to 3 years under the proposals. Those who earn at least 50,270 pounds per year will be eligible in 5 years. All applicants will have to meet minimum salary standard at least 12,750 pounds per year for 3 to 5 years, subject to the outcome of the consultation. They will also have to have minimum standards of English and have to test for other government debt. Those who receive public funds could face up to 20 years for settlement and visa over stayers up to 30 years. The adult dependents of an economic migrant, a spouse for instance, will no longer qualify based on their partner's earnings as per the proposed rules. They will instead have their own qualifying period and criteria based on their circumstances. A 5.5 magnitude earthquake in central Bangladesh kills at least 8. News from Dhaka. Armed men abduct children and staff at a Catholic school in Nigeria. News from Abuja. Islamist military killed 89 civilians in DR Congo last week. News from UN mission. Farida Kahlo painting auction for $44.6 million record for women's artist. News from New York. Nitish Kumar sheets home key Bihar portfolios to BJP. News from Patna for the first time in his 2 decades as Bihar Chief Minister Nitish Kumar has given up the Home Department and other key portfolios to the BJP, which emerged as the single largest party with 29 seats in the assembly election. Mr. Kumar allocated portfolios to 26 ministers on Friday. One of his two deputy CMs, BJP leader Samrat Chaudhary, has been given the Home Department. Other key department he has been given up. The BJP ministers include health, agriculture, revenue and land reforms, mines, industry, road construction, urban development, and backward and extremely backward class welfare. The party has 14 members in the cabinet. The 8 ministers from Mr. Kumar's Janata Dal United were allocated the water resources, building construction, energy, rural development, rural works, and education department, among others. The party won 85 seats. The Lok Janshakti Party, Ram Vilas, led by Chirag Paswan, won 19 seats and has been given to cabinet, births, public health, engineering, and sugarcane industry. The Rashtriya Lok Morcha, led by Upendra Kushwaha, has been allocated the Panchayati Raj portfolio. This will be held by Mr. Kushwaha's son Deepak Prakash, who had taken oath as minister without being a member of either houses of the legislature, but is likely to be elected as a member of the Legislative Council. No result till timeline fixed for governors to clear bills. News from Stalin. Tamil Nadu CM calls for necessary changes in the constitution, says fight for state rights will continue. From Chennai, a day after the Supreme Court pronounced its advisory opinion on a presidential reference, Tamil Nadu Chief Minister and DMK President M.K. Stalin on Friday shared the fight for state rights and true federalism will continue. He asserted that there would be no rest duty. There will there would be no rest until the constitution is amended to fix timelines for governors to clear bills. The top courts on Thursday pronounced its advisory opinion on a presidential reference questioning its authority to impose timelines and prescribe the manner of conduct for governors and the president while dealing with state bills sent to them for assent or reserved for consideration. Supreme Court issues notice to Ishi on Kerala plea. seeking deferment of SIR. New Delhi, the Supreme Court of India issued notice to the Election Commission of India on Friday on a batch of petition filed by the Kerala government, the Communist Party of India, Marxist, and the Indian Union Muslim League seeking deferment of the special intensive division of electoral rolls in the state as the cumbersome exercise would clash with elections to local bodies. A three-judge bench headed by Justice Suryakant urgently listed the petitions for hearing and orders on November 26. The SIR is scheduled from November 4 to December 4 and the local body elections on December 9 to 9 and 11 near impossibility. The state government represented by Advocate C.K. Sashi pointed out that simultaneous conduct of the SIR and the election would be a near impossibility. SIR is a huge exercise requiring deployment of 1,76,000 personnel from government and quasi government services for election related duties. It submitted it shared that the exercise also required deployment of other 68,000 police and other security personnel. SIR is also a comprehensive process with a cumbersome procedure it added. The CP also moved the apex court separately seeking not only the deferment of the SIR but also a judicial direction to quash the process. The petition filed by the CPI through State Secretary Bino Vishwan said the SIR was a deliberate plan to weed out registered voters who form the support base for opposition parties. Government implements four new labor codes. They replace 29 fragmented laws, some of them dating back to one some of them dating back to 1930s. Prime Minister Modi hails codes as comprehensive and progressive. From New Delhi, the centre on Friday notified all four labor codes, ushering in major reforms, including extending universal social security coverage for gig workers, providing gender pay parity, extended rights and safety for women workers, giving statutory backing for minimum wages and introducing fixed term employment. Congress rules out alliance with MNS for civil poll. Rajasthan first case of forced conversion filed. From Jaipur, Rajasthan police has registered the first case under the state's newly enacted anti-conversion law against two missionaries in Kota, accusing them of carrying out conversions through allurement. An acidic rom-com based on love, lies, and cheating. Michelangelo Cavino's film topples the open romance theory with a straight face and shaky confidence that feels embarrassingly recognizable. It shows how desires scramble the best intentions. Michelangelo Cavino's Ken's premiering Splitville is an unruly rom com that knows precisely how imprudent its quartet of adults can be. ATM statement on campus politics by Luca Guadagnino. The Call Me By Your Name director tries to create a cohesive whole of a twisted academic landscape that hides sinister secrets but is unable to fill the gaps in a thoroughly hollow script. Manoj Bajpayee and Jaidev Ashlahat Joshel on familiar turf. Manoj Vajpayee and Jaideep Ahlawat jostled on familiar turf. In the pulsating third season, the characters, arcs, and conflict feel familiar, but the geopolitical intrigue, Shrikant Tiwari's signature wit, the moral tightrope, and his camaraderie with JK make it a guilty pleasure you don't mind tripping on. Farhan shine in this recreation of the Battle of Rijangla. Technical prowess and emotional heft come together in Rajneesh Guy's stylish tribute to the steely defiance and courage of our soldiers. Much like our political leadership, Bollywood largely remains silent in our battles and skirmishes with our northern neighbors. This week is a glorious exception as director Rajneesh Rajighai brings a tale of valor from the Chinese front that makes us realize the battle of Rajangla where 120 Indian bravehearts from the plants fought the dragons designed to occupy the entire Ladakh during the Sino-Indian War on November 21, 1962. On the 63rd anniversary of the battle, 120 Bahadur traces the fiercest resistance offered by the Charlie Company of the Kumaon Regiment led by Major Shaitan Singh Bhatti, which inflicted heavy casualties on the Chinese army, forcing them to declare a unilateral ceasefire. While India suffered a setback in the war, the military refused orders to retreat. The soldiers mounted a heroic last stand, fighting hand to hand and to their last bullet and last man. Emirates Airlines set to hire hundreds of pilots in 2026. From New Delhi, Dubai-based Emirates Airline will recruit pilots in the three digits in the financial year starting April 2026 and undertake an expansion of its flight training infrastructure by adding more simulators, according to a senior airline officials. Yes, there is an industry shortage, a high demand for pilots exists and will continue to exist. Captain Badar AI Marzuki, Senior Vice President of Flight Training at Emirates, said in response to a question on the chronic shortage of pilots globally. Afghan Minister urged expanded use of Chabahar port from New Delhi. We request the Indian government to help ensure the trade route from Chabahar port is functional so that trade remains competitive. Afghanistan acting Commerce and Industries Minister Al-Zahar Nuruddin Aziz said, Axis Bank raised up to 5,000 crore rupees via the ventures. Tata Power drunk, Tata Power dropped green impact for Bhutan power unit from Mumbai. Rupee goes for free fall, slips over 89 on trade uncertainties from Mumbai. SEBI board may review MF stockbroker rules in December 17. Maruti invests 2 crore rupees in startup Gravity Software. RBI ECB agreed to start up UPI TAPES link realization phase. Insinuations of cop offshore, Shambhata tells Tata Trust. While explaining his fellow trustees neither intended to carry out a board takeover nor suggested one, Khambata called for entire board to set aside personal feelings and work unitedly. Indigo to purchase aircraft for 7,294 crore rupees to reduce forex risk from New Delhi. Budget carrier Indigo has approved a capital investment of 7,294 crore rupees to enable ownership of their aircraft instead of leasing. Indigo has historically maintained a fleet structure predominantly reliant on operating leases. In recent years, the organization has undertaken a strategic development towards a more balanced ownership structure and diversified forms of financing. The airline explained its decision, adding that the move will enable prudent capital allocation and sustainable value creation for all stakeholders. The move is expected to shield the airline from foreign exchange fluctuations as lease payments are typically donated, dollar denoted. Until now, Indigo has relied on the sale and lease back model for many of its aircraft, whereby it sells new planes to leasing companies and immediately leases them back. This approach allows airlines to maintain liquidity. The airline CFO Gaurav Negi recently said that the airline plans to increase ownership of aircraft to 30 to 40% of its fleet by 2030. Maoist leader orchestrated Hidma encounter XMLSs. High Court refuses petition by Red Fort blast accused. Tremors felt in West Bengal and northern east, northeast states. COVID-19 drug case against Gambhir, others squished. Guidelines defining obscenity in online content proposed. From New Delhi, the Union government has proposed a guideline defining obscenity and other disallowed content online in the Information Technology Rules 2021, which governs social media companies and OTT streaming platforms in a note for filing in the Supreme Court seen by the personals. The proposal includes language that applies to all digital content, social media platforms, OTT streaming services, and digital news platforms with broad restriction incorporated from the Cable Television Networks Regulation Act 1995. The note was served this week to litigants in an ongoing case by an advocate for the Ministry of Information and Broadcasting after the Supreme Court asked the government earlier this year to frame guidelines on online content. The IT rules already contain language requiring social media platforms to disallow content that is obscene, pornographic, pedophilic, invasive of another's privacy, including bodily privacy, insulting or harassing on the basis of gender, racially or ethnically objectionable, relating or encouraging money laundering or gambling. Now, the amendment proposed by the Union government, if the Supreme Court approves it, would explicitly define obscene digital content and add language to the rules code of ethics that are based on Section 67 of the IT Act 2000, the Cable Television Network Regulation Act 1995 and its rules, and the Indian Penal Code, the precursor to the Bharatiya Nyaya Sanhita Section 67 of the IT Act, would be also be the legal basis for this amendment, the ministry said. This is exactly the cable TV program called copied to the digital medium. Mishi Chaudhary, founder of the Digital Rights Advocacy Software Freedom Law Center, India, said after reviewing the note, this is the most sweeping regulatory shift India has ever proposed for digital content which had wide restraints previously. PSC questioned FSSAI on sale of adulterated food items. From New Delhi, the Public Accounts Committee, headed by senior Congress leader K.C. Venugopal, on Friday held a meeting with officials from the Ministry of Health and Family Welfare, the Food Safety and Standards Authority of India to discuss a range of issues related to food safety and quality control. COP30 draft text gives mention of fossil fuel use. BJP pushing tribals into a crisis stage Congress. King blame teacher for 16-year-old girl's death in MP. From Bhopal, class 4 student who died by suicide was bullied from New Delhi. For arrested in Rohtak in honor killing case from Gurugram. Rape murder of 3-year-old girl, minister promises swift justice as Malegaon erupts in protest from Mumbai. Com rules out Paul alliance with MNS, expect power to act a mediator, Shena says from Chhatrapati Sambhajinagar. Bodo outfits stage protest in Delhi, demand full implementation of 2020 peace accord. Protesters clash with police for a second day as Shanghai festival kicks off in Manipur. From Guwahati, man claims his son died by suicide after assault for speaking in Hindi. BJP Islam MNS for showing poison. From Mumbai, the beating inflicted on North Indians by the Package have now reached their peak. Their children will learn French and German, but if one speaks a single sentence in Hindi, they die. BJP MLA registered over police corruption sparks uproar in UP from Lucknow. By Paul laws Congress to take corrective measures, says Baghel from Chandigarh. Newly elected MLAs take oath in J&K place to serve people from Srinagar. Rajasthan books two Christian missionaries in first case of forced religious conversation. Police issue notice to two pastors after 3 days spiritual satsang at Kota Church. FIR registered on complaint by VHP. Bajrang Dal office bearers accusing the two of conversions to allurement. From Jaipur, Rajasthan police has registered the first case under the state's newly enacted anti-conversion legislation against two Christian missionaries in Kota, accusing them of carrying out religious and religious conversions through allurement at a gathering. The 3 day spiritual satsang was held at Bir Sheba Church in Kota from November 4 to 6. A first information report (FIR) was registered on Thursday night on the complaint lodged by local office bearers of the Vishwa Hindu Parishad and the Bajrang Dal. The police have issued notices to the two pastors, Chandi Varghese from New Delhi and Arun Johan from Kota, while claiming that they promoted conversion and baptized several people during the program. The two missionaries were grouped under Section 299, Deliberate Act to outrage religious feelings of Bharatiya Nyaya Sahita, and Section 3 and 5 of the Rajasthan Prohibition of Unlawful Conversion of Religious Act 2025. The FIR registered at Borkeheda police station stated that the accused made offensive remarks about the Hindu community and described the Rajasthan government as a devil's kingdom. The police have launched investigation after obtaining videos and social media live stream clips purportedly showing the speeches and activities conducted during the event. Some youths allegedly announced from the stage that they had been baptized and had accepted Jesus Christ as their savior, while calling upon others to adopt Christianity. Officials said on Friday that the social media footage would be examined and the statements of those who attended the event would be recorded in view of the sensitivity of the matter as part of the flow. Nothing to hide. Master Arun John told the Hindu from Kota that the police had asked him and Pastor Varghese to respond to the notices within 3 days. We have nothing to hide about the program. Videos are already in the public domain. No illegal activity was carried out at the gathering, he said. The assembly had passed the anti-conversion bill during its monsoon session on September 9 and the Home Department notified the law on October 29. The legislation has drawn criticism for its steep penalties, including life imprisonment, fined up to 1 crore rupees, and confiscation and demolition of properties for carrying out conversion through fraud, allurement, or coercion. Notably, these returning to their ancestral religion have been exempted from the law. Rajasthan is the latest Bharatiya Janata Party ruled state to bring the statute aimed at curbing the alleged forcible religious conversion. Similar laws exist in the states such as Uttar Pradesh, Haryana, Uttarakhand, Arunachal Pradesh, and Andhra Pradesh. The Supreme Court earlier this week issued notice to the state government on the plea moved by the Jaipur Catholic Welfare Society challenging the validity of the act. The petitioner contended that the law was constitutionally flawed. Udhanidhi calls Sanskrit a dead language, stirs Rao from Chennai. DMK pressuring BLOs during ongoing SIR in PN in Tamil Nadu from BJP, Chennai. BJP National Co-in-charge for Tamil Nadu P. Sudhakar Reddy on Friday took strong exception to the DMK's opposition to the ongoing special intensive division of electoral rolls in Tamil Nadu. He also claimed some officials involved in the exercise as booth level officials were not performing their duties properly due to indirect pressure from the DMK government. Trinamool stamps Shah's remarks from Kolkata. Trinamool Congress leaders on Friday reacted sharply to Home Minister Amit Shah's statement against political parties opposed to the special intensive revision of electoral rolls. Mr. Amit Shah is an incapable Home Minister who failed to prevent the Pahalgam terror attack and Delhi blast. He is now taking about infiltrators. Congress to hold rally in Delhi against vote theft on December 14. New Delhi. The Congress rally against alleged vote study theft will be held in Delhi on December 14 to highlight crores of signatures that the party has collected on the issue since August on Congress General Secretary K. Gopal said on Friday. SIR exercise is a purification of water list, says Amit Shah. At the BSF 61st Raging Day, Union Home Minister claims parties opposing SIR want names of infiltrators on electoral rolls, says citizens will never support parties that beg illegal immigrants from Ahmedabad. Union Home Minister Amit Shah on Friday declared the BJP-led NDA's victory in the Bihar Assembly election as a rejection of infiltrators in the country. Speaking at the Border Security Forces BSF 61st Racing Day event in Bhuj, Mr. Shah described the Election Commission Special Intensive Division (SIR) as a purification of the voter list. Today, the BSF is engaged in preventing infiltrators at all borders of the country. Stopping infiltration is not only essential for national security but also to protect the democratic system of the country from being polluted, he said. Mr. Shah accused certain political groups of opposing the SIR only to keep infiltrators on electoral rolls. Some parties are against the ongoing SIR as they want to make sure that names of infiltrators remain on the voters list. SIR is a purification of voters list. We will report every single infiltrator from this country. This is our resolve, he said. Citizens will never favor those parties that support such illegal immigrants, he said. The Home Minister said, who will be the Chief Minister of any state or the Prime Minister is a decision for Indian citizens alone. Infiltrators do not have the right to pollute our democratic system. He called for support to the SIR. The Bihar election was the mandate of the people of the country against infiltrators. Lord's Bishop's work, the minister lauded the BSF's work in combating mice, saying that in Chhattisgarh the BSF has forced 127 mice to surrender, arrested 173 and neutralized 22. We are determined to free the country from the national problem by March 31, 2026, he said, adding that 2013 brave BSF soldiers have sacrificed their lives securing our borders. He lighted the BSF's current strength and border responsibilities and said, with 193 battalions and over 2.76 lakh persons, the BSF guards more than 2,279 kilometers of Pakistan border and 4,095 kilometers of Bangladesh border. He announced a plan to modernize the force within 5 years. Next year will be focused on the welfare of BSF personnel and their families, he said. Recalling Operation Sindoor, Mr. Shah said Pakistan took our attack on terrorists as an attack on them, and when the Pakistan army came into action, our BSF soldiers gave a fitting reply. This forced Pakistan to announce a unilateral truce, making it clear to the entire world that India's border will not be violated. BJP slammed Congress for awarding Peace Prize to Bachelet. From New Delhi, the BJP on Friday criticized the Congress, describing it as an army of traitors. After its parliamentary party chairperson Sonia Gandhi presented the Indira Gandhi Prize for Peace, Disarmament and Development for 2024 to Michelle Bachelet, the former president of Chile and former United Nations High Commissioner for Human Rights on Wednesday. At a press conference, BJP national spokesperson Gaurav Bhatia said the event showed that anti India blood was flowing in the veins of Congress. He accused India's oldest party of operating like a Maoist group, spreading its network even abroad. He alleged that MS Bachelet attacked India's sovereignty through her remarks against the abrogation of Article 370 and her objection to the implementation of the National Register of Citizens in Assam. ED conducts searches in Bengal, Jharkhand in coal theft case from New Delhi. Modi looking forward to productive discussions at G20 Leaders Summit. From Johannesburg, Prime Minister Modi said on Friday that he was looking forward to productive discussions with world leaders on key global issues as he arrived here to attend the G20 Leaders Summit being hosted by South Africa. Arriving at Waterloo Air Force Base, Mr. Modi was received by South African Minister Kumbuzgo Naswineni and greeted with a red carpet salute from the South African Air Force, as well as traditional dances and songs landed in Johannesburg for the G20 summit related engagement. Look forward to productive discussion with world leaders on key global issues. The Prime Minister shared in a social media post, our focus will be on strengthening cooperation, advancing development priorities, and ensuring a better future for all, he added. This is the first G20 summit being held in Africa and the fourth consecutive summit being held in Global South. In fact, the African Union became a member of the G20 during India's presidency in 2023. However, neither US President Donald Trump nor Chinese President Xi Jinping are attending the summit. Mr. Modi is expected to speak at all three main sessions of the summit, whose theme is solidarity, equality, and sustainability. He is also expected to hold meetings with some of the leaders present in Johannesburg on the sidelines of the summit and will also attend the sixth summit of IBSA, a a trilateral grouping of India, Brazil, and South Africa. Trump's absence makes G20 safe for Modi, says Congress. IAF stages crashes at Dubai Air Show, pilot dead from New Delhi. US sanctions farms Indians linked to Iran's oil trade from New York. Supreme Court issues notice to issue on Kerala's plea on SIR. Supreme Court issues notice to issue on Kerala's plea on SIR. The unconstitutional and arbitrary SIR exercise affects not merely an isolated individual or class, but every registered elector in Kerala, thereby justifying invocation of Article 32 writ jurisdiction by a national political party whose members, cadres, supporters, and constituents statewide stand to be disenfranchised. The plea has shared. Union government implement for new labor codes. He said these laws will serve as a strong foundation for universal social security, minimum and timely payment of wages, safe workplace, and remunerative opportunities. Union Labour Minister Mansukh Mandavia said the courts will formalize employment, strengthen worker protections, and make the labor ecosystem simpler, safer, and globally aligned. The reforms include expanded rights and safety for women, including night shift work, free annual health checkups for workers aged over 40 years. So government's plans to unify security regulations for 250 seaports. This one entity will take over security at private ports. CISF will regulate 80 ports that handle export and import of goods, overseeing access control, cargo screening, and seafront patrolling. News from New Delhi. Accused causing delay in candidate's case trial, say police. Delhi police argued that the prosecution could complete the trial in 2 years if the accused did not stonewall process. The Delhi police on Friday vehemently objected to pleas for bail filed by former Jawaharlal Nehru University student leader Umar Khalid and others accused under the Unlawful Activities Prevention Act in the 2020 Delhi Riots larger conspiracy case. Vehicle fitness fees in Kerala hiked tenfold from Trivandrum. High Court dismisses habeas corpus plea filed by King of Mars from Vijayawada. Bengaluru discusses weight, wealth, and peace from Bengaluru. Siddharth rules out leadership change from Mysore. Ravana gets partial relief as Ravana gets partial relief and High Court pushes one charge from Bengaluru. Overwhelming resistance. Version 2 of the National Action Plan on AMR requires fresh commitment. The new direction for India should be toward Asia. Asia is at the center of the world and India should focus on self-sustaining growth. Below two states, the Supreme Court should have uplift timelines for governors and president. Green thinking is a symbol of environment responsibility. Industrial on-site green cover and green belts are poor substitutes for natural forest, wetlands or connected ecosystem. The global push to ease industrial norms has recently extended to one of the most visible symbols of environmental responsibility, green over within industrial estates and individual industries. The growing trend of introducing green cover requirements for industrial estates, units within states and standal- standalone industries is often celebrated as a step toward ease of doing business. However, the rationale for such relaxation frequently based on international examples where minimum plantation norms appear lower often lacks ecological context, while those relaxations may simplify compliance and enhance land use efficiency. They raise a critical question: are we mistaking convenience for sustainability? While industrial development inevitably entail ecological alteration, including the clearing of vegetation and habitats, it is critical to recognize that on-site green belts cannot compensate for the broader primarily provide local visual greening, but they do not restore the forest function. I thank all my brothers and sisters, ladies and gentlemen, students, scholars, teachers, trainers, professors, officer, official, learner. I thank